Who are you? And what is your value? And what is your importance? Today, on Up With Inspiration, and a look at a special diamond. I couldn't take my eye off the diamond as I looked at her beautiful hand. I could see that that diamond had great value. What a gem it was. But what was its importance? It seemed to me as I looked at the man's hand, holding her hand, and taking another ring and placing it over her finger and up to the ring that had been her engagement ring, and just wondering how the importance of that diamond would change over the years. She would become perhaps a mother, and that diamond would represent loyalty to her family and fidelity to her husband and a special feeling of warmth from him as his bride and the mother of his children, and the many things that go and change in importance to a woman's diamond, and what it would mean to her as she grew in wisdom and the years went on and she became different, more mature, how that diamond would change its importance in what it meant to her, once as a symbol of beauty, once as a symbol of elegance, another time a symbol of wisdom and maturity. Oh yeah, the value would never change, but the importance of that diamond to her and those around her would change. Jesus, early in his ministry, was down by the Sea of Galilee with his disciples. And he told a story as he sat in the boat and the multitude was gathered around him in the hills. He told a parable of a sower sowing seed. And as the sower sowed the seed, some of the seed fell on the wayside, and the birds came along and ate it and devoured it. And some of the seed fell on rocky soil, and because it was on rocky soil, it sprang up quickly, but when the sun came, it scorched it, and the crop was gone. Some other seed that was sown fell among thorns, and when that seed grew up, it was choked by the thorns and did not thrive. But some of the seed fell on good ground, and that crop grew, became abundant, and some yielded 100-fold, some 60, some 30-fold. The disciples asked him, "What does this mean?" And Jesus says, "This is a parable." He says, "To them it's been given in parables, but to you who are following me and listening to me, it has been given to you to know the whole story." And Jesus began to tell his disciples what the parable meant. So I have a parable that I've thought up. Imagine yourself walking down the street and you see a beautiful long brick building. And as you're walking along that brick building, you notice that there's a door. And the door is open. It's been left open. And you look and you peek inside and you go, my gosh, this is a massive gallery. A beautiful, beautiful universe gallery. And you walk into the gallery and you're looking around and you don't see anybody, but you see all of these stars and all of these planets. And everything looks so beautiful. And in the center of all of this, you see a hologram of the earth. And you look and you wonder, wow, how did this come to be? Who made this? And you're looking at the earth and you're seeing the people and you're seeing the animals and the trees. And you look down and you see a note, and you look at the note, and you see that it's written to you, and it says, I knew that you'd come by. I'm the artist that designed this beautiful artistic piece that you're looking at. And I've gone out to get more supplies. And I'm going to bring them, and I'm going to expand on what I have here. I hope you enjoy it, because I've certainly enjoyed making it for you. The year was early 1969, second semester at the University of Florida. I was enjoying myself, but boy was I lonely. It was a lot of fun being on campus. You met a lot of people, but sometimes you could get very lonely. Because I was away from home, and there are 24,000 students on campus, and it was lonely at times. And I can remember one night when the loneliness set in real deep, as I'm sure it did with many students. And it was so painful for me. And I decided to take a walk, because I couldn't take the pain of the loneliness anymore. And as I was walking about a half a mile to the west side of the campus at the University of Florida, past Florida Field to the ROTC field, and this was a no-moon night. It was pitch black. And as I walked out into the middle of the ROTC field, I began to weep and to cry and to feel so alone. And as I was crying and looking down, I looked up and I saw all these stars in the sky. It seemed like I had never seen so many stars in all my life. There was millions and millions of stars. And as I was looking up, I said, oh God, God, who are you? Who are you? I'm tired of telling you who you are. If anybody knows who you are, it would be you. And I'm trusting you to show me who you are. And that began a 6-year journey of me looking and studying all different types of religion, going to all of the gurus, the Eastern gurus, spending time with people all over the United States, in San Francisco, different states. I went to all 50 states, ended up getting drafted, being in the Army up in Alaska, where my information of journey and looking for God continued. But 6 years after I said that prayer, God found me. So who are you? You're somebody very valuable in God's eyes. And who is God? God is very important. Our importance has to do with what our function is in life. Are we living our life in such a way that we're working with God, that we're allowing God to do His work through us? If we are, then we're very important. Very important if we're doing the will of the Father. You know, as we think about the parable of the artist, can you imagine how good it feels for an artist to be recognized for the work that he's created? Can you imagine if we thought that the walls in the gallery produced the hologram in the middle of the art gallery? What a terrible thing it would be to that artist for us to think that the things that he made themselves. What a wonderful thing it is for an artist to be praised for the work that he's produced. And the God that I found in 1975, was a very personal God. A God like you and me that has feelings, that has love, that has care, that is very, very important, because He keeps the whole landscape in place and continues with the brushes of His hands to produce for us every day food, oxygen, water, friendship, heart, soul, feelings. provision, a listening ear, a seeing eye. He deserves our attention, this one, I believe. So who are you? You're very valuable. And how important are you? That's something only you can determine. I found myself staring at that diamond. What a beautiful diamond on that woman's hands. Oh, it was so beautiful, of high value. And I looked as that man held her beautiful hand in his hand and thought, that value of that diamond never changes, but the importance does. The importance of that diamond has changed. It changed continuously. And as I looked at that man and how he held that woman's hand. And then he kissed her on the forehead and stepped back. And a gentleman in a coat and tie closed the lid on her coffin. So, who are you? Well, for one thing, I know that you're very valuable. God told us that. You're so valuable to Him, it's almost immeasurable. And His love for you is so deep, and His appreciation for you is so great. And how important you are is all depending on how important you're willing to be. And the words which Jesus spoke in the boat that day is in chapter 13 of Matthew.